Hello everybody on this, well, it would be still Friday for me. Most of you it's Saturday or Saturday afternoon. But in case you didn't see Williams live, I did finish that Crossroads quilt. Well, finished as far as the top's together. No, I still have to de-string it. But it's together. But the reason I stopped there, and I did not put batting in it. It is fleece on the back. I just like the feel of fleece. Plus, with 2 layers, it's technically not considered a quilt unless it has 3 layers. But I still consider it a quilt because I am going to, this one I'm going to hand quilt it. But it's a little bit different than normal quilting. And that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch the camera so you can see. And there's another project I did, just, I don't know, it probably took me maybe 5 minutes at the most. So let me switch the cameras and I'll show you what I did. In previous videos, many of you seen, oh, that was my knee. Many of you seen where I was doing this quilt with these blocks, and there's lots of strings because this is the one with these blocks that I had put together. Yes, it was fully quilted, all put together. And as I was finishing binding it, I had discovered that I had put some of the blocks like this when I sewed it together. I have no idea why. I've done some really strange things, but I have never done it this way. And I did. I almost left it because this is nice fabric. It's like really soft, but it just, no. And it was a large California King quilt. I took every single block apart, used a seam ripper, cut everyone apart. And of course it makes strings, but that's okay. It's okay. And so I've been looking at it going, I need to do something with those blocks. I either need to put it back together as a quilt. Then I started with a few of them and was just doing sample playings of just quilting. And it's like, no, this is not working. Then I was sitting here going, you know what? Because I have a electronic one that you plug in, a blood pressure machine. It's not, I don't, once in a while I use it, but hubby uses it. He has to monitor his blood pressure. Sometimes it's really high. And it's really nice that you just plug it in and it reads the pulse, and it reads everything, heart rate, pulse, you know, and it reads everything, and it's quick, it's simple. It's pretty much like one of those ones you'd go into, like some of the pharmacies where you stick your hand through. That's pretty much what it does. But I needed something to carry that in because I didn't want the pieces getting all disrupted, and I don't know why it didn't come with a bag. So I thought, you know what? These blocks would make a perfect bag. So I took 2 blocks, put it together, just like this. Of course, what I did was, because I didn't want the seams being showed, so I sewed these together like this. Sewed the back so there was no seam, and made this little bag. See, made a little bag to put that electron. And then I put straps on it, and because of where I needed it put, and there's a string in there, but you can see I just took in zigzagged the edge because I didn't want it fraying, and then I just had some black scrap. It's still got strings on it. And then I just had some black fabric. I just I don't know, it's 3-4 inches, folded it in half, and then made straps out of it. But because of where it sets, where it will be sitting, it needed the straps this way so it could be held like this, where it's got to set, so that it could stay in the bag if I needed it to and still be used. But it's just something that it's not real hard. You just, and this would be something somebody could do with, if you have like orphan blocks. Yeah, there you go. It's just two-sided, just a really cute bag. Then I was also thinking, you know what? I think that's the perfect thing what I'm going to do with the rest of these. As most places now, they're either doing away with the plastic bags, or they're starting to charge people if they want the bags. And so it's like, you know what? So I'm going to turn all these blocks into shopping type bags. But I thought that was just something different I'd like to show. I thought, I mean, that thing only took me, maybe 5 minutes to put together. But here's the quilt. It's, like I said, I just have to quilt it. But instead of regular quilting, just putting designs, this one's going to be quilted. I still got a hole. This one's going to be quilted using embroidery. I'm going to embroidery, but I thought I would show you as soon as I find the hole where it's plugged in, because that hole's not stuck out. And all I did, I just sewed the back on it. It's sewed inside out, and then you just pull it through. And I got to get my hand up in there, and it's hot, so it's a little warm here today. But I just wanted to poke that through. Get that poke through there. So it sticks like it's supposed to. But this was the other reason that I put... No, my seams aren't, I mean, it's not exact, but, I'm not after these little pieces here were 2-inch little blocks, and these were 6-inch, and I just sewed them together between each one and put the same thing around as a border. But I mean, it was, and these blocks are 6-inch, and it's like I want to keep everything just as uniform as possible. But what I decided to do was, get back on there, I decided to, I'm going to, instead of doing regular quilting, I'm going to embroidery on here. In each one of these will be a flower, of per se flower. But one thing I wanted to show everybody is, this is always on my machine. My desk, or where this machine sits, it's really hard to see what it is, but this thing is actually metal. It is an old, from, probably talking, who knows how old this thing is. It's an old typewriter table, and both the sides come up, and the color of it is actually a greenish gray. It's something that you would see in the school systems. I don't remember where I even got it from, but what I did with it, you could buy marble contact paper, and that's what I did. I put marble contact paper on it because I didn't like the green, and and I put marble contact paper, but I still needed it to be metal. I needed the metal, and I'll show you. And you would have to look in the videos, I don't know, but on the sides of my machine, on the front here, is this little guy. It's a little magnet. And it sticks because this is metal, and that's what my embroidery needles sit on. It makes it easy because it literally just sticks right there. It's just sitting right here, and it's kind of hidden. I don't know. There, you can see it now. See, most of the videos you can't see it because I moved it way over here. But the needle will stick to it. Most things will stick to it, but it keeps me from losing my needle. But Oh, great. So I had to go find what to do with that. It was just sitting right over here. I got a couple of strings. Strings are that's the thing when you're dealing with quilts or anything. Always seems to be strings. Strings. Oh, there they are. Put you back where you belong. Okay. And when I do, because like I said, most of you know that my eyesight's real limited. And here's a funny thing. Something against white like this, I can see. Like this white, I can see it. But if it's on a darker color, this looks totally blank. There's nothing there. But I'm going to choose, let's see, let's just pick this one. Okay. And I'm just going to show you one little, it's called a French knot, or it's, I don't know, it's got various names. Mine is a little different than what most people's is. But what I do is, because I do have a hard time seeing, this little item here, most people have seen them. You could get them like in a package of 2, and I know for next to nothing. And it might seem, you know, but I'm not going to mess with trying to find the eye of that needle. It's not going to happen. I'm going to miss it every time. And it just the end of it is a real thin piece of wire. And yeah, they do break really easy. And you just stick it through the, if you could find the eye of the needle, it'll just slide right through the eye of the needle. See, it's through there. See? The eye is through the end of the needle. Again, there we go. See, it's just right here's the piece of wire. And then I just take, and when I'm doing my thread, I have always, since the beginning of the time, when you buy embroidery cloth, like this one is a blue, I have always done 2 different colors, simply because, well, that's just the way I am. And it's usually done with, like, this is a light blue. I'll put it right there so you can see it is a light blue. And I have these together, and now I need to separate them. And embroidery cloth is such fun to work with. It's like it stickies to itself. Okay, let me separate these real quick. Put you over there. Okay. And yes, I could have separated this prior to this video, but I thought, well, in case someone, you know, hasn't used embroidery before, you know, it's always a good thing to see exactly what we do. Well, I don't know about everybody else. This is just what I do. Because I only want 1 strand of each one. Because normally you do 2 strands, but it's like 2 strands, and I'm sorry, he's noisy. He's going to start talking. He does it every time I go to do a video. Because it's warm here, so I had to open the door. But he's going to start talking. Moo meow. No. 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 We're not doing this. No. No. I'm going to argue with the cat. Oh, that's nice. I think the cat always wins, though. Moo meow. Stop. Okay. Then I just hold it up like this. See, I'm just holding it up so it can unravel. I just go like this and unravel it. You just be real careful so you don't, and I just turn it around my hand so it can unravel itself. And you just do it kind of slow so it doesn't, and the thick part, I just wrap it around my hand. See, I'm kind of untwisting it. And yes, I do have problems with my hands, so this isn't exactly the grand faux pas. Moo meow, please stop. Okay. All right. So this part here, and there's the piece we just unraveled. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, yeah, sorry, I had to stop the video. That he was getting a little bit too loud. So let me get the blue one so we can have our two pieces. And again, you just kind of find the middle. Just it's not that hard. It kind of unwinds from the factory. It comes wound, and just kind of turn it till I can get a piece of it. Sometimes the end I can get a piece of it, but you just want one, because normally, you know, you'll pull two off of here, but because I'm using two different colors, I only want one. So let me see if I can get this one off. That's a bad thing, because what I see is a blur. It's kind of blurry to me. It's like, okay, I just want one. I know there's two, but I just want one. There we go. Because I can feel the difference between how many is on there. I could feel it. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. And I just lost it. It's the same thing. Kind of, if you could put it down, like I have it facing down, it will just automatically turn by itself. See, you can see it, it's turning. And you're just basically, you might have to help it. And I usually help it because it takes, you're just kind of unwinding it. Winding it in the opposite, unwinding in the opposite direction, so you get you get only one strand. Again, this is not the typical way. Most people use two strands of the same color. I just like what it looks like with using two different colors. I mean, you could do the same thing by buying variegated, but sometimes you can't find exact variegated match. Variegated is when there's multiple colors on the same strand. And I mean, because not everybody knows or understands that, so it's, you know, I shouldn't always assume everybody knows when I say something that everybody understands what I'm talking about. So and now we're gonna take this off my finger without getting it all knotted up. Okay. And it's going to do its twisty thing, and I don't care if it does its twisty thing. Go ahead and twist up. I don't care. Twist around yourself. Yeah, embroidery floss always reminds me of, it's like sticky. It's not really, but it just, it's just like, I don't know. And what I do is find the two ends together, kind of put them, and then you just take the two pieces together like this. I don't know why that went out of focus. That was weird. But we have our two different strands. See, we got a blue one and a red or black one, and then just kind of string them all together, and you don't see them until you do them like this. Okay. And you want to find one that's got an end. And no, I'm one of these weird people. I'm not going to stick this string in my mouth. It's not happening. Which is why I use this needle threader. Let me put it up here. And you just take your ends of your needle, you stick it through this wire. It's through the needle. If I can see the wire. I mean, it's a big hole. See, it just goes right through the wire, and I just stab myself with the needle. And you just kind of pull it through. Take your needle, and it pulls right out. It just makes it so much easier than trying to figure out where that end is and trying to wet your fingers. And no, I'm not messing with that. I even use it on the sewing machine once in a while, because I don't know, it's not an old machine. Well, I guess it is, but the needle threader part and won't pull it through the needle. Okay, and what I do when I need to tie the end off, and remember, you're actually, I bend it in half. See how it's bent in half, so that you don't want this super long. If you get it too long, you'll get it wrapped around. But I just go to this end like this, and I just wrap it around my finger, the one finger. I wrap it around that finger twice, 1, 2. You kind of roll it off your finger and then pull on it. And it creates a loop. See the little tiny loop? See the little loop? Let me see. See, it creates a loop. And there's a reason why I want that loop on there. Then when I do this, let me put this back on this magnet so I don't lose it. You know what? No. Yeah, I'll do it this way. So we're going to go find one of these white. This one. Got strings. Ah! Okay. Nope. I'm going to do it on the other end, then it's easier access to the where I still got that hole. And if you're going to do this, don't close this opening up. Do not close it up this early. Okay? Because, well, at least for me, because I don't want the knot showing. I don't want the knot being on the back of the quilt or whatever you're doing. So what I do is I take my needle, open this up, go inside, put my hand inside, and like we're going to make that flower on this one. But we're also going to attach the back and the front together at the same time. Put my hands inside, and you try to find the center without stabbing yourself. You try to find the center of that. They're as close as, and yes, I have an embroidery hoop that I use, but I'm not going to do it. This is just so small. Okay, and then you pull it through. Okay, then what I do at this point, because see, my knot is not on the back. My knot's not the back there. Okay, but because I want these two pieces attached together, don't put it back to the same hole you did. Kind of move it over, push it through to the back. And yes, you could do it the other way, but I'm just showing you this is the easiest way to do it so you don't get lost. And now it's through the back. Okay, you're just going to put it back. All you're doing is tying this in. And then you put your needle back through as close to the other one as possible. Okay? And now it's tacked. It's got itself tied. It's tied together. And you could do this with yarn if you'd like. Now, remember I said earlier I was going to show you how to make a French knot. And this is going to be interesting because of the jewels on my nails. But, okay, what I do, and this is not saying this is the perfect way to do it. This is not saying that, you know, this is just the way I do it. Again, we're attached to our fabric, okay, both sides. I hold the needle, let me see if I can get this. I hold the needle out here. Then what I do is put the needle, don't go through both layers. You're just barely gonna, the top layer, you're just gonna barely go through. Let me see if I can get it, if I can see it. I should have got my magnifier thing. But, let me see. Just want to grab, trying to do this and so that you can see what I'm doing at the same time. See, I just want to put it through there. What you're going to go do from here you're going to take, because see, this is like this. You're going to take the thread. You're going to wrap it. 1, wrap it around that needle. 2, 3, 4, wrap it around that needle 5 times, okay? You hold where you just wrapped and pull that needle through. Don't be aggressive with it, but you're just going to kind of hold it, pull it kind of straight so it doesn't knot on you, and you just hold it and hold that knot. And there is your French knot. Okay. And then you just go back through, and you can do it again. I'll show you again. That's a French knot. You could do it, here I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, hold on. I'll show you what it does when you put more on it. It's actually kind of cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we got 10 on there now. 10 little deals. You're going to hold that again just like you did before. Pull your needle through. Okay, pull it all the way through. What you create, come on, pull through, and go back through, and hopefully you could see what I did. You're going to go back through the fabric. Remember, you just created one with 10 on it. I don't know if you can actually see that. Oops. And it just creates a bigger French knot. It creates a, if you want it, see, creates a bigger French knot. Like I said, I don't know, my camera's really green blurry. See, it just creates, if you want it bumpy, because now you could feel it. I mean, if you ever felt French knots, they're kind of bumpy. I always liked the texture on them, but that's what I'm going to be doing with this one, is attaching, and you could do things like, if we want to make a flower, okay, if you want to make a flower, of course I would use different colored thread. If you want to make a flower, you just kind of make a loop like this. See how I'm making that loop? Like this. You put down, go all the way down through. Come on. And when you put your needle back up through the material, you want to catch in the center without catching the nail. Depending on how big you want that flower petal to be, you just catch in the center of that loop and bring that needle back through, and you have, just give it a little tug, not so tight, and you have the makings of a little flower petal. And then what you would do, so that you can keep it, I mean, if you want it a little more round, but you put it on the other side, go on the outside of that loop you made, on the outside. Remember, do not go through the back. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if you do, but it's best if you don't go all the way through the fabric. Then you're going to go underneath the fabric, bring your needle back to here where that French knot was made, because all you're doing is tying that petal in. So you're going to tie the petal in, and it just ties that petal in. You can manipulate it, and then you just do the same thing, and it will eventually, you know, like I said, I'm doing this really fast, and I have a thing, and you just kind of manipulate it like that. Or you could do like there's a stitch called a satin stitch, and you could do it like if there was like little lines you want, like even a single line. If you want, it's what I call a satin stitch. I don't know really what it's called, but say you wanted to do, instead of a leaf like this, no, I don't draw. This is all. So envision what a leaf looks like, where it's kind of fat and comes to the skinny. What you would do is, number one, make sure you're okay. If you wanted to do that kind of a stitch, your leaf is, where it's attached, your leaf is kind of fat at the top. So what you do is you kind of, if I can get just a hold of the back, or the front, not the back, you're going to push this through. Okay? And going to go right next to it, like literally right next to it. Keep that behind and come up. And you're making what they call a satin stitch, or it's what I would call a satin stitch. And you just want to make sure that your thread is always behind and not in front, because you'll grab a hold of it and end up catching it. Let me make these a little more pronounced. Yes, I'll end up taking this out. It's not a big deal. It comes out really easy. But this is just what they call a satin stitch. It's just, you could do it with anything. If you're doing something and it just has a straight line, see, just goes back and forth. Oops. This makes just a back and forth. But that's all part of hand, and this is what I call quilting, even though this would be more of adding embroidery to stuff. But that's just a real quick demonstration, because it also shows you, yes, I do embroidery, I do needlepoint, I do other types of crafts besides just the quilting. Quilting isn't the only thing I do. But I think that I will get out make some miniature projects to show you that beginners can sew what seems super complicated, and it isn't. Like that little French knot. That's, that was just a real quick one. Usually the French knots, I do them with, I did only 2 strands of thread instead of 4 or 6. Sometimes I've done more strands of thread. But when you're doing embroidery needlepoint, and you have an issue with like the head of the needle being so tiny, what you want to do is choose a head of a needle that has a big head instead of a little head, and it's not so hard to thread. And most of you, I'm sure, 99%, this one's really old. You could buy a package of needles like this, and they're fairly inexpensive. And this big tall one is the one I use quite often. Yes, even though my eyes are funny, that's why I can't do it very often, because I tried the magnifying glasses. I found the most success with this little strange thing over here, and it just opens up, and it's a very, very high-powered magnifying glass, and it's got this little tiny one. I can zoom in on one letter or a little dot, but I gotta be like right down in here to see it. It's And that's a little hard to do when you're trying to sew by hand. And then I have another one over there that I actually zip tied to one of my baskets over here. But when you're doing stuff like that, and what I had that needle hook to, like I said, was just a little tiny round magnet. I don't even remember. Some of these will come, like over there I have a board. It's like a whiteboard that you can write on, but it came with little circle magnets, and the needles will stick to the back of it. It's not real high powered. I've tried sticking scissors onto it, and the scissors will stick to it, but they eventually fall off because they're metal. But I do have some other magnets over there that are high powered, and then I have a big magnet up there. I don't like playing with that one because I can feel that one. That one actually goes to my stimulator, and it is a very, very high powered magnet. And what it does is the doctors, or actually it's Abbott, that comes down and he opens it up and it will shut my stimulator off. And that's not fun. That's not fun because you can feel it, and it's like, ugh. It's like, okay, plug it back in. But I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the channels today, which is Saturday. And in case y'all didn't know, oh my gosh, I seen that and I was so excited. Mona's channel today is going to have William and Jess on it. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Oh, and I don't know about other times, but it'll be, I think 1 o'clock Arizona time. I don't know about, but y'all need to come. Yeah, y'all. No, I'm not from Texas. I don't know, sometimes I say that. But y'all, yeah, it's going to be, because as you all know, if you've watched Mona, Deb, and Lisa, oh my gosh, they are so hilarious to watch. They're just, they're channel promoters that are just, you go there, and if you're not laughing within the first 10 minutes, I don't know what to tell you, because they are just, and some of the things they say just is out of the blue, but that's what it's about. It's we have fun, we can sew. Very knowledgeable ladies, very. And William, you fantastic what you're doing. And Jess, you need to make more of those, that skirt you did. And Tammy, I hope you're feeling better. I'm so glad you're okay, but don't overdo it. So everyone, stay positive, and I'll see you on the chats and the channels. Thank you. And remember, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you like. And thanks everyone. Bye-bye.